Tribes are different from our civilized communities. They follow their own rules, rituals, weird laws, bizarre traditions, and rituals that defy logic. Hey everyone, welcome back to Juicy Truth. In ancient Micronesia, on the island of Pohnpei, going to war. It wasn't about conquering land or showing off your power. The reason for these tribal wars was so bizarre that none of you could see it coming. These tribal wars were more like a test. A man went into battle to prove he was brave, to earn respect from his tribe, and to show he could handle pain. The pain was like gold in that society. If you could take a beating without flinching, you were respected. So how did they learn to handle pain? Well, they did it with tattoos. But not just any tattoo. They get inked up by a shark's teeth. Over days, sometimes a whole week, they're getting tattooed in a way that hurts the most. This purposefully painful tattooing process is a test to see who's tough enough to lead the pack, to see who's got what it takes to guide them in the future. It's like they're saying, if you can handle this, you're in. Even after getting those intense tattoos, the guys on the island took it up a notch. They'd go through this harrowing experience of having one of their testicles cut off. Yeah, you heard that right. This was all to prove they could handle even more pain. But even after all that pain, the tests didn't stop. These guys had to keep proving themselves in fights their whole lives. It was like a never-ending trial. It was about proving yourself, showing you could take whatever life threw at you. Similarly, their war wasn't just about fighting. See, on this island, things were pretty good in terms of resources. Plenty of food and fertile land, and the ocean had tons of fish. So what were the logical reasons to fight? Well, most of the time, there wasn't any reason. Sure, sometimes there were fights over important things like land or special regions. But for the average tribal, it was more about status than anything else. These wars weren't about survival. It was just about showing off who was more brutal. It was plain and simple when Pohnpeians went to battle because they wanted to. But they had rules for how they fought. Break those rules, and you were in trouble, not just with your opponents and clan members, but also spiritually. Winning didn't matter if you didn't play fair. There was no by hook or by crook here. They fought for respect, so it was important for them to fight their wars with rules. These rules were interesting, like only fighting people of the same rank. Even if a bunch of lower-ranked guys had a higher-ranked chief surrounding them, they'd hold and wait until they found someone on their level to duel. Chiefs had to fight their equals to keep their status, and after a fight, they'd sometimes do this weird thing where they ate their opponent's heart. Ooh. This was gross, but it was part of the war. It was a mix of respecting the social order and dissing the loser. But calling these fights wars might be slightly wrong. Before Europeans showed up, it was more like raids. They'd wreck houses, mess up crops, and abduct people. It was all about status, not wiping anyone out. For most soldiers, it was about proving they could fight and take pain better than anyone else. But there was one thing: everyone was fighting over something super important. So, a lot of those soldiers were fighting just to get their hands on their enemy's poop. Yeah, it sounds gross, but hold on. It has a reason. These guys weren't fighting for wealth, women, or the throne. They were after something way more down to earth, which is poop. Think about it. After a battle, what's left behind when someone dies? Yep, you guessed it right, poop. And in a society where showing off your power was everything, making your enemy poop was like the ultimate mic drop moment. Even the toughest fighters, the big chiefs, all do it when they bite the dust. It's embarrassing, which made it significant in this tribal battle. So naturally, the guys on the battlefield wanted to avoid that humiliation at all costs. You never forget something like that. And dodging that embarrassing moment was a big deal for these Pohnpeian warriors. Now they have devised a new tradition to clean themselves out and ensure they keep their dignity intact. They called it Queek. It was a 4-day feast where they ate raw meat. They called it the oven of smoke because that meat was so raw that it'd wreck anyone's stomach. But sadly, this feast made them weak. It made winning a battle even harder. But they did it anyway, just to make sure if they died, they'd still hold on to their pride. But here's where it gets wild. Since soldiers weren't pooping out their shame anymore when they died, that's way above normal. But yes, it became a norm for them. And the day after a big fight, those same tribes would sit together for a feast. It was like saying sorry, but also showing who came out on top. This has gotten periodically gross, but it was their way of saying, yeah, we fought, but it's all good now. It was like a twisted game, a way for the losers to show they could handle whatever came their way. It was just about proving who could handle the most crap. What do you think of this bizarre reason? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To get more videos like these, make sure to subscribe to our channel.